Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from relationship advice. Our first post is by Alchisma. Husband M36 gave me F34 a year to lose weight, fix our dead bedroom situation and get better mentally, or he will leave. How do I handle this? We have been suffering from dead bedroom for few years. I am also in depression and my mental health is not good. I am also overweight and gained quite a bit over the years. Well, we've went through 2 rough months recently, and he gave me an ultimatum. He is giving me 1 year to fix all of this, or he says he also deserves happiness with someone who loves him, etc. I understand his intentions, but I can't seem to shake the feeling that putting all responsibility to me is not right. Also, if he decides to leave, the blame can be put on me in an instant. I am already having so many mental issues and medicated with self-esteem, fear of loneliness, trust issues, etc. And this ultimatum is not helping me with those. I am not sure what to do. Of course, I want to lose weight, work on myself and relationship, but I feel really uncomfortable with this ultimatum. Edit. Thank you all for your comments. I realized I am looking at things from wrong window. I need to give him the credit. He has been very communicative about our problems before, so this kind of last resort for him. I genuinely believe he wants to give us a second shot and not mean this as a threat. So now the ball is in my court and I need to get up and do something about it. Our next post is by Blue Baskets. My 32F fiance, 34M, won't sign our prenup, which was initially agreed upon and drafted 2 years ago. I have been with my fiance for almost 5 years, engaged for 1.5 years. We're an interracial couple. Me being from Canada and he from India, I finally have a triple-figure net worth, half of which I've made since we started dating. He has only a few thousand in savings. Since our relationship, we have always had similar incomes, with him currently making more. I am generally safer with my money, and he has lost a lot of his in poor investments. He has always planned to bring over his parents from India, who I met there recently, to live with us or nearby. I was uncomfortable with this idea initially, early on in our relationship. After meeting them, I feel more flexible about this, because we all got along fine while staying at their house for a few weeks. We all realize that I will be the one to pay the down payment for our first home. As I am the only one with savings, I will likely be equally financially responsible for his parents because he can't afford to provide for them by himself, and their only wealth is their house, which they intend to keep. 2 years ago, pre-engagement, I told my then boyfriend that I'd like us to have a cohabitation agreement, because we were coming up to 2 years living together. This would also act as our prenup if we were to get married. I asked him if he'd be okay with that. He said yes. I included him in the drafts since he didn't want to get his own lawyer. When I gave the contract to him to read and sign, he wouldn't sign. Fast forward 2 years and it still isn't signed. I have tried explaining how it's important for me to protect myself, especially since I will be contributing the most financially to provide for us all. I am happy for him to get a lawyer and make amendments. I just want to know that in the worst case scenario, I won't continue to be financially responsible for all of them, or lose more than my fair share because he cannot support his parents. He knows I have witnessed many divorces, including my own parents. I'm a realist and want to be responsible. He feels like I don't trust him and that I must not truly love him if I'm thinking of finances. I understand that our opinions on this are somewhat cultural, but I think it's unfair for me to be flexible and willing to take all of this on without any security net if things go south. I was very resentful and anxious after the few failed attempts I made at having him sign discussing it. I always left the conversations feeling selfish and immoral. I eventually gave up and have tried to let it go. We're 2 months away from our wedding now, and some of this worry and resentment is resurfacing. What would you suggest doing in this situation? He is otherwise a wonderful, kind man, and I do love him. Our next post is by Throwaway. I, 34F. Found out my husband, 41M, did something unfathomably horrible, but I'm stuck. I'm shaking writing this post right now. I'm using a throwaway account. Yesterday, I went on my husband's iPad after having a bad gut feeling in my stomach. I saw something I was not at all expecting. It was a message from a woman friend of his. Not to give too many details to not reveal anything, but it alludes to her being done with him due to things that happened the last time they hung out. It talks about them having alcohol and possibly cocaine, since she talks about powder, and then it talks about him leaving her and her waking up alone and it alludes to him doing something to her, and she is not pressing charges, but she doesn't want to hear from him again. I feel frozen. This does not sound like my husband, and I feel like I'm going through the motions of my life. I'm terrified to confront him since obviously I don't know who he is or what he is capable of. I've been acting normal while inside I'm dying. I'm numb. I'm scared. We have a daughter and I rely heavily on his finances. I don't know how we would make it if we left. My question is, am I a terrible person for acting as if I don't know about this for now until I figure out how to make it out? I feel guilty about this woman and what she went through. I just don't know what to do. I feel like I need a few months to get my life together without him before I can leave, for my daughter. He has never been a danger to us, but now I look at him as if he is a stranger. Edit, answering questions I've seen quite a bit. What did he respond with? Answer, nothing. He never had a response. She said there is not a statute of limitations and not to contact again. 2. Where did I think he was that night, and why would I believe what she is saying is true? Answer. I looked back through my messages for that date she stated, and he was in fact gone to his brother's all night. I was unable to get a hold of him that night. That is a big coincidence in my opinion. It's actually too big to be a coincidence. Update. I saved the screenshot and sent it to myself, deleted it from my phone. I haven't contacted a lawyer yet. No, I don't plan on contacting her anytime soon. They have been friends over 12 years, and as angry as she sounds, I don't know her well enough to know for certain she wouldn't go to him and say, "Your wife contacted me." I'm not ready for that. Our next post is by Throwaway. My 24M girlfriend, 27F, doesn't think I make enough money. I'm 24 years old, and I currently earn a salary of $130K. My girlfriend of nearly 3 years often compares me to her friends, co-workers, my friends, anyone who she knows earns more money than I do. She constantly tells me she thinks I'm underpaid. She's extremely driven by money, whereas I am not. She's 27, most of her friends are a year or two older than her. Those friends have partners who are older than even they are, and so a few of them make a decent amount more than I do. And I'm reminded of this every so often, and I'm so tired of it. For comparison, my girlfriend just got a raise and is making around $115K now. Also, for more info, I was making $70K when we started dating, so I've gotten $60K extra over 3 years, but it's still not enough. I'm not bragging here, but I flat out know that I'm on good money for someone my age, but it hasn't ever been about money to me. As a teenager, I was very depressed and insecure, and when I finished high school, I vowed to turn my life around and make happiness my #1 priority. And that's what I did, and that's how it's remained. The problem is that happiness isn't her top priority, it's money. She just wants to be rich, and personally, I don't care enough about that to sacrifice my happiness. Her boss is about 15 years older than her, makes about $400K, and flies business class everywhere. And when my girlfriend found out about this, she said her #1 goal is to fly business class everywhere. Sure, business is nice, but I'm just so not aligned with what she wants in life, and at 3 years into this relationship, I don't know what to do about it. I'd say about 75% of the time together we're happy, usually when we're not talking about things related to money. She's constantly pressuring me to leave my job while I love my current job, and have continuously gotten new opportunities internally, and really don't want to leave. She makes me feel inadequate when I know that I'm doing really well for my age, and it sucks. As a person who wants to prioritize my happiness, my current job and pay should be a reason for me to be happy, and it usually is until she makes me feel unhappy about it. I guess I'm struggling to work out what to do. I feel like I can't take this for much longer, but honestly, I'm afraid of breaking up. How should I handle a situation where my partner values money more than I do, to the point that it makes me so unhappy, but I'm happy with many other aspects of our relationship? Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.